Hello everybody and welcome to this little Facebook Live all about how to look and sound great on camera. Now, one of the things that I've been encouraging people to do over the past week certainly, and all last week as well, is to start spreading the word about how awesome you are through the use of Facebook Lives. And a lot of people say to me, oh, but that means going on camera. But what about, I don't like being on camera. I don't look good on camera. I'm scared and all that kind of stuff. Well, that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. Cool, we've got a load of people on here already. So come and say hi, give me some love, say hi in the comments, let me know who you are. And one of the things about Facebook Lives, Facebook loves it when there's interaction. So please hit the like button, the love button, and all that kind of stuff. And I will love you forever, and I will reciprocate. So, hello, Amin. How are you doing? Eric, hi. Roger, Sue. Lovely to see you all. Lovely to see you all. So I'm super excited about this today because looking good on camera is something which stops a lot of us because we all want to look good. We don't want to look a numpty. You know, that's a British word for looking a bit of an idiot. So I'm going to be sharing my best tips on how to get comfortable in front of the camera and to set that really good impression. Hi Samantha, how are you doing? Fab. So I've got a whole load of tips here that I've written down. And you might be surprised by some of the things that I'm going to be saying, because I'm not going to be, what I'm not teaching, this isn't a masterclass in how to set up, for example, a studio, you know. So we're not talking about, you know, lights, camera, action and all that kind of stuff. What I'm going to be talking about is how you put your best foot forward when you're doing your Facebook Lives, when you're doing your videos, when you're doing your webinars, because everything that I'm going to talk to you about today is anytime you're on a camera, not just Facebook Live. So is that awesome? Yeah, if that's awesome, press the love button for me. I'm seeing all these hearts, it's fantastic. Thank you so much. Right, now then, I am now going to share my #1 tip on how you look good on camera. And let me tell you now, it's got nothing to do with hair, makeup, clothes, or anything else. Okay, so I don't know how many of the guys might be wearing, you know, what do they call it? Man eyeliner. I've forgotten the name of it now. There's like man eyeliner and all that kind of stuff, isn't there? But it's nothing to do, and in fact, you'll see I'm not wearing makeup. It's absolutely impossible for me to wear makeup right now because it's like 30 degrees. I don't have air conditioning. I've got the window open, so I'm hoping that the traffic noise isn't going to be too much. But if I was to wear makeup, it would be kind of sliding down my face within like 5 minutes. So it's nothing to do with makeup. It's got nothing to do with hair. It's got nothing to do with going and having a complete makeover with the whole hair, makeup, clothes and everything. It's got absolutely nothing to do with that. So what has it got to do with? Let me tell you the #1 secret. Are you ready for my #1 killer secret on how you are going to look amazing on camera and how people are going to connect with you? It's this. It's your smile, okay? If you smile, you're automatically going to look good. And this is something I really want to press home, because I'll tell you what happens. Especially for people who are not comfortable in front of the camera, it becomes a big deal. You get anxious about it. You kind of start, you know, getting the whole heart racing and all the rest of it. And you come on camera then like this, and you're concentrating on what you've got to say. You're concentrating on, am I doing it right? And you forget to smile. The number of times I have been working with people in the past on their presentation skills and all the rest of it, when they're conversing with me normally, they've got the most beautiful smile. The minute they stand up to present, and this is when it's off camera or on camera, and on camera tends to be even more of a problem, people forget to smile. Okay, so the first #1 tip is you have to smile. You smile and you're automatically going to look great on camera. A little tip about that as well, make sure you've cleaned your teeth, especially when you're doing a kind of close-up like this. There's nothing worse than if you've just had your lunch and you've got bits of sandwich or cabbage or something in your teeth. So show that smile, make sure your teeth are nice and pearly white and all that kind of stuff. Let's just see if there's any comments, message or questions. Hiya Vicky, hello Monica. Yeah, absolutely. I look great because I've got a smile. I always have a smile on my face. Jackie, hello to you. Jacqueline, how are you doing? Mary, hello. Barbara's saying she's lost sound. Is that you or me? Can you just type a yes for me if you can hear me? And I would so appreciate that. It might be just Barbara's end. Hello Valerie, nice to see you all on. How cool is that to have so many people here? So I'm going to share some other tips with you though. It's, you know, it's not just, you know, that's it, my #1 tip, it's the smile. There's loads of things I can do to help you to look and sound great on camera and to feel confident, because a lot of this is all to do with confidence. Yeah, you can hear me. Okay, so it might be your speakers, Barbara. Everybody else can hear me. All right, so #1 then, the very first thing is make sure you smile. Now that's going to be a natural smile, so it's something you may need to practice, that you can speak and your natural smile comes out, because if it's kind of like the forced smile like this, you're just going to end up looking a bit manic and it's kind of like a bit scary. So just make sure that it's you. And this is the other thing, like one of the things you have to really do is be yourself. Now you may not naturally be a big smiley person, but what you've got to do is, so if you're not a big smiley person, then if you're grinning like this manic Cheshire cat, you're really not going to come off right. But just, you know, just think, well, where can you put that smile in? How can you just make sure that at this given point you stop what you're saying and you just smile at the audience? All right, and that is a skill you might need to practice, because you may not be, you know, a big smiley person naturally, but I bet you do smile. All right, and when you do, it probably lights up the room. I know that it does, because every single time I see somebody smile, it lights up the room. So your smile is your biggest asset. The next thing to do is, it's all about audience connection. So as well as smiling at them, you want to make sure that you're looking at them in the camera. All right, so a lot of the time the temptation is to focus here so that you can see what you look like, you can see how things are. But if you can see now, I'm not looking at the camera, I'm looking at myself. I might be looking at the comments. Hiya Ilona, hello Monica. Yes, it's absolutely creepy when you do that, isn't it? Yeah. So it's like that manic smile is creepy. So what you've got to do, instead of just looking at yourself to make sure you're doing okay, just relax and look at the camera. Okay, look at the lens. That's looking into the eyes of your audience. But here's the same thing with smiling. If you smile like a, you know, Cheshire cat, it's a bit creepy. But guess what? If you completely and all the time, the entire presentation, stare into the camera, that's creepy too. Just look at the camera as you would a normal person. All right, so if I'm talking to any single one of you one-on-one, there's going to be times when I'm looking you in the eyes, there's going to be times when I glance away and then come back again. There's going to be times when I might, you know, trying to recall something and then I kind of come back and look at you again and decide what I'm going to say. There'll be times when I want to maybe increase the intensity of what I want to say. Right? So again, treat that camera as a normal person. So look into the eyes of the person, but don't creep them out by staring. And this is one for the guys. All right, I've seen this on some sales webinars and calls and all the rest of it, where you'll say something for effect and the voice slows down and you can lean in, and this can be a really good technique and I've seen it done brilliantly. Okay, Ben Perry is a master. Ben Perry is a master of this, where you slow down for a bit of gravity and you look intensely in the camera and maybe smile. But I've also seen it done where, and this is particularly a guy thing, where you'll try that technique and you'll slow down and you'll smile and you look at the camera and it looks like you're hitting on me. It's really it can creep the ladies out. Okay, so everything that I'm teaching you, you need to kind of think of the impact, watch the videos back, get feedback on how it looks and all that kind of thing. So you do want to use these techniques. What you don't want to do is overuse them. All right, so it's like everything, balance, be natural. Number one thing is be yourself. Hey Dustin, how are you doing? Anthea, this is so exciting. We've got loads of people on today. And I'm trying, in fact I've just got to read it. I forgot to share this in the group. So I don't even know how you share it in the group actually, so I'll have to share it in my group later. But I've done this today on my personal profile because there's more people connecting with me on my personal profile in the group. Now, anybody who wants more of this kind of training, by the way, most of this stuff I do in the group, because if I did this on my personal page every day, some of the people who are not in business, some of the people who are just, you know, my friends, who don't have their own businesses, who don't want to learn about speaking to get their message out there, they're going to get real fed up of me. So, but I wanted to highlight what I'm doing. And those of you who are not in my group, go over, join my group, 5-Star Speakers. I'll put the link in the comments later. I'm loving this. You're so cool, ladies and gents. I'm seeing all the hearts and likes. So thank you so much. That's so exciting. So, do you see? And this is the thing. Once you start interacting, once you smile at people, what do? They smile back. They show you some love. When you see that love coming in, makes you smile even more. It's that real kind of virtuous circle kind of thing. And this brings me on to the next thing about how you're going to look good and sound good and really come across well on camera. So I've already mentioned you've got to be yourself. Now, the thing is as well, what you've got to do is whatever it takes for you to feel good. Now, for some people, that might mean that, you know, for the ladies, it might well mean that if it's going to make you feel good and it's going to make you smile and it's going to give you more confidence, then hell yeah, put a bit of makeup on, you know, wear your best outfit and all the rest of it. What I'm trying to say though is that you don't, I don't want you to feel you have to do that every single time before you go live, every single time before you go on camera. Yes, if you're doing training videos, it's something that's planned. You've got to put your best image across. You can't turn up. I just had this conversation with Jacqueline, you know. You don't have to come out, look like you've just come out of the poodle parlour or a makeover bar thing. But you don't want to look as if you don't care. All right? You don't want to look like a slob, okay? So I don't wear makeup during the day because it's just too hot and it's not my thing. I'm a bit of a tomboy. But yeah, I'll try and, you know, wear something nice. I'll try and, you know, make the hair tight. And now again, it's never going to be coiffed. It's not that kind of hair. It just doesn't work. But I try and at least make it look tidy. You know? People have said they like these specs, so it's kind of put these specs on. But it's whatever's going to make you feel good. Now, so I want you to type in the comments here for me. What makes you feel good? All right. What makes now? This may not be alcohol or drugs. Okay, that might not be a good idea. If you come on your camera, if Facebook Live's as high as a kite or stone, you know, that might not go down too well. But without those kind of substances, what makes you feel good? Right. So I'm just going to let you answer that, and I'm going to talk about other stuff for a minute and see what comes on for you, because feeling good is so important for you to look and sound great. And while you're typing that, I'm going to say, read out some of the comments that we've got. Roger's saying photos of the grandkids on the wall in front of you are great for bringing out your natural expression. Oh, Roger, I love that. What a superb tip. Actually, one of the things I've got in front of me that always puts me in the right frame, I got flowers. You know, I have flowers on my desk and a pretty little, so turn that round, pretty little vase with fresh flowers. and I've got flowers on my window box and all that kind of thing. That makes me feel happy, makes me feel good. Yeah, when an expert speaks, absolutely. But what makes you feel? So it might well be that you listen to somebody that's going to put you in the right frame of mind before you go live, before you go on camera. It's all about energy. Being with friends, absolutely. Samantha saying some essential oils. Okay, brilliant. Hiya, Bill, William Tuckett, how are you? Me and Bill go back a long way. We were in the Territorial Army together. How cool is that? I always look slightly over the camera so that I'm looking at the world rather than dot. Yeah, that works as well. What, you know, but remember, even if you're looking over the top, you may not be connecting. So take some time to look at that little dot as well, occasionally, Vicky. When people tell me they love my handmade jewellery, absolutely. All of these things make us feel good. So we've got to recall those feelings. Now, there might be other things that you can do to make yourself feel good just before you go on camera. For me, I don't do makeup, but one of the things I do like is jewellery. So I like to put some jewellery on because that makes me feel good. That's my way of showing that I'm making an effort with my appearance. Things like I said, for some ladies, it might be doing the makeup. For the guys, it might be, I don't know, whatever the guys do to sort their appearance out. It might be a bit of man eyeliner. It might be, I don't know, putting your favourite shirt on. It might be doing something daft, like putting your lucky pants on, you know, wearing your lucky pants. Nobody can see them, at least I hope not on a Facebook Live. But it makes you feel good. So although people can't see your lucky pants, the fact that it makes you feel confident and it makes you feel good means that they can see the effect of you having your lucky pants on. And that's what it's all about, all right? It's all about the effect. It's all about when you're feeling good, you project that. It comes from inside out. And then you're going to come across brilliantly on camera. And your energy is going to be up. And people connect with that energy that's invisible. It's just that, you know, je ne sais quoi, as they call it. It's what a lot of people call it charisma, right? And this is what it's all about. For me, the thing that makes me feel good is perfume. And it's really funny because remember I was like, I can't go on live until I put my perfume on, you know. And my other half said to me, Tina, they can't smell you. No, I know, but I can. and my perfume lifts me. My perfume makes me feel good. You know, I'm one of these. There's a lot of things I don't give a monkeys about. I use cheap biros. I got a cheap watch. There's certain things which I buy cheap. Perfume isn't one of them. I like the best, you know. For me, it's Chanel, it's Christian Dior, and when I got a little spray of Chanel perfume on, I know I feel good, and I know I'm going to deliver my best. If I haven't got my perfume on, I don't feel special, and that shows. All right, so it's like, oh my God. So it's whatever is going to work for you, you know. Everybody's different. You're unique, you're individual. You've got to be yourself. You've got to choose what's going to make you feel good. When you feel good, you're going to look good. When you feel good, you're going to sound good as well. So it's all about energy. Other things to do with energy. Now, this is your friend. I know it's not a gin and tonic. It's water with a slice of lemon in it. Water is your friend. Water gives you lots of energy, and you've got to have energy when you go live. Another thing that I do before I go on camera, whether this is videos, Facebook Lives or whatever, I like to take some time out to get my head in the right space. A lot of times I will take some time out of my day and I'll go for a walk down to the beach. It changes my energy. It grounds me, but it energizes me and gives me power. You might want to go and psych yourself up to give yourself that energy and to give you that magic that's going to come between, you know, out from you and work its way through the camera to your audience. Okay, I've also started again doing meditation in the mornings. When I meditate, I have more energy. When I got more energy, I know I sound and look better than when I don't. Yeah. So energy is really, really, really super important. Just going to say hello to a few people. MH Russell, yeah, you just learned the webinar jam setup from my tutorials. How cool! It's a small world. Welcome. I'm going to be doing some updates on them because it's all changed. A lot of it has changed. A lot of it's still the same, but a lot of it's changed. Hello, Tracy. Hi, I'm Monica. How are you? Right, so far then, a lot of what I've been saying has all been about you, has all been about the person, and that is the biggest thing. Now, there's a few other things that you can do to really look good and sound good on camera. And that's kind of looking at equipment and all the rest of it. Now, you do not have to have the big expensive studio setup. I haven't got it. I've not found it necessary. And then to me as well, it's a bit of a palaver, you know. But a couple of things which are really essential. And the first thing that's really essential is a good camera. Now, for years, when I was doing webinars and all the rest of it, I couldn't afford a good camera. So I was just using either the built-in camera from my laptop, or I had a cheap, you know, $9 camera that I got from the PC World or something. When I changed and invested in a decent camera, and I didn't have to spend, you know, shed loads on it. I can't remember how much it was now. It was maybe $60 or maybe it might have been $100, I forget. But I remember somebody gave me the tip to get a Logitech, and I'm using a Logitech C920 HD camera. And it actually doubles up as a mic, and it's a really good microphone as well. Is it the best on the market? Is it the most expensive on the market? No. Does it give me a good sound and a visual quality? Yes. Certainly good enough for what I want right now. And that's what I would recommend as something to really help you, is to just get a good piece of equipment, you know. And Logitech have got a fantastic name, they've got a fantastic range, so have a look at getting Logitech. And again, you know, it's what's going to work for you, what's going to be right for you. Now, a lot of people get these great big microphones like the Blue Yeti and the big things with the sound boom and all the rest of it. I think I'm a bit clumsy. I think if I had that, I'd probably knock it over. I might get that one of these days. But for right now, the Logitech for me is, you know, a really got a nice microphone built into it. So good camera and good microphone is going to really help you as well to be your friend. And it's made a massive difference for me. As soon as I switched over to the Logitech, oh my God, I couldn't believe the difference in quality with how I looked and sounded compared to before. And if you go on my YouTube channel and look some of my old videos, it's kind of like scary stuff. Okay, lighting. Now, a lot of people tell you to invest in loads of lighting, you know, where you have lights either side into the front of you, shining at you, so you don't get the shadow, and you don't get, you know, sometimes, you know, have something above you. I tell you, my lighting is quite simply, I'm in front of a window. My desk is purposely been positioned in front of the window. And natural light is the best light you can possibly have. Now, sorry, Trace, if you get a lot of cloud and rain, you may not be getting the natural light from your windows that you might get in other places. Fortunately, we get lots of sunshine. I got really good natural light. One of the downsides of that is because I'm wearing specs, it does reflect, which can kind of get in the way. And one of the things that I used to use a lot, which I'm going to go and buy some again, since I changed my optician, I've run out and I need to go and get some more, is contact lenses, which are the perfect vision for computer, so that you don't actually have to have these, or you spend some money on anti-glare. I broke mine, unfortunately, so I need to go and visit my optician to get anti-glare sunglasses, or glasses, whether you use ordinary reading ones or whatever, try and get anti-glare. So that's a question of do what I say, not do as I do, because mine are not anti-glare at the moment. But natural daylight is brilliant. Natural daylight is the best. You can see I've got no horrendous shadow behind me at the moment, and I've got light on my face. I haven't got one side or the other in shadow and all that kind of thing. So natural daylight, putting your camera in front of the window is brilliant. And you've got different lights. So you've got natural daylight gives blue light, artificial light gives yellow light. And you don't want to be mixing them if you can help it. That's something that I picked up on a little course that I did a little while back. So yeah, so lighting is going to help you, but you don't have to spend a fortune. Just be creative and just kind of. And I remember once when I was doing something at night in the dark, I just put a lamp in front, kind of behind the computer, just to throw a little bit of light on me. So you haven't got to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a studio setup to look and sound good coming across on camera. Okay, let's. I'm just going to read through some of the comments because they're brilliant. So Monica's saying she takes charge of her emotional state by having a laugh. Absolutely, maybe to get into the right state, watch a couple of clips on YouTube of something that's going to make you laugh. Put you in a really light, nice, energetic state. I've actually done a few meditations for people who suffer with confidence. Those are in, I have to confess though, those are in my paid membership site. But I've done some nice meditations, so some people like to kind of, get themselves psyched up. Joy is saying she's so busy watching my earlier live that she forgot I was on right now. Anyway, here you are now. Welcome, Joy. Hello, Marianne. Nice to see you. Oh, it's not Marianne, it's a Mike. He's logged in on Marianne's account. Okay. Monica's saying, I love how you seem to look at me. Yeah, where is your camera relative back? So my camera, where is it relative to me? My camera is pretty much eye level. So I've got my computer set up where so my camera is pretty much at my eye level. So if I'm talking to somebody who's my height, maybe a little bit taller than me, it seems normal. So when I look into the camera, I'm not like looking up there at it, and I'm not like looking down there at it. So if you have your camera down on the bottom of the desk, it ends up looking up your nose. So you kind of like, you've got the kind of Miss Piggy, look going on. And if you've got it too high up, you're kind of straining your neck all the time. It needs to be natural for you. So if it's natural for you, you're going to do it more. So I always make sure, and this is the beauty of the Logitech camera, and it's really a shame that I can't take the camera off and show you the camera, because I'm using the camera obviously, but it's one that clips onto the top of my monitor, and that's one of the things that I really like about it. Hello Neil, hiya Carol, Mike. Mike's come back on as himself now. Hello Jane, Michelle. Brilliant, it's so cool to have lots of people. Now, what else do I want to say about looking and sounding good on camera? Okay, so we've talked a lot so far about looking good on camera. How are you going to sound good on camera? Now, obviously, when you're talking, sound is a large part of it. So how are you going to sound good on camera? Again, it comes back to the one thing that I've kept saying, be yourself. Now, you may see a lot of other people out there doing Facebook Lives. Hello, Rob. How are you doing? Rob is my buddy who's responsible for me to coming to Gibraltar stroke Spain in the first place. So it's all his fault, peeps. So yeah, when you look at other people's lives, you might see how they sound. You might want to look at what they're doing, but what you can't do is copy them. So for example, what I always found when I was looking at voice and voice intonation, I would look at people who inspired me. Like Billy Connolly was a huge inspiration to me. But if I start trying to sound like Billy Connolly, I am going to look like the biggest muppet on the planet. I ain't Billy Connolly. I'm never going to be Billy Connolly. I am never going to be able to carry that off. So basically, I don't do it. So what I have to do is be myself. I have to use my voice. Okay, so you have to use your voice. That's got to be natural to you. But what you can do is there are all sorts of speaking techniques that you can use with your voice to bring it alive. Right, now I'm a naturally excitable person, so I can tend to raise the energy really quickly, and if I'm excited about something I jump up and down and my voice level goes up and the volume goes up and the pitch goes up and all the rest of it. So sometimes I need to remember to take a deep breath and bring that down, especially if I'm talking about something that's really quite important, and use pauses and just bring the pitch of your voice down a little bit. So it's all about what we call in the speaking world vocal variety. So when we're looking at vocal variety, what we're looking at is changing the speed of how you speak, changing the pitch, changing the tone. So sometimes your tone might need to be quite thoughtful, you know, and again, Ben Perry is a master of this. Go and join Organic Facebook Secrets group. Look at some of Ben's lives. He's obviously had a lot of experience and training in speaking, and he exudes it. You know, there's stuff that he exudes. I've learned, I've taught, and I've forgotten. You know, when you get that like unconscious competence, and you sometimes forget to use some of the stuff you've learned and been taught. And he's a master at using his voice. He's really good at it. All right. So if you want to look at how somebody uses their voice brilliantly, go check Ben Perry out. He's an absolute master at the whole tone, the vocal variety, the speed, and he's got so much charisma. So that's what you want to be doing when you're doing your camera stuff, is thinking about how you sound as well. So change how you speak, change the style, change the rhythm, but at the same time, always, 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 always be yourself. And I will revert to type. I'm naturally like Tigger on speed, so you're probably going to see me when I'm in flow, when I'm really excited about a topic, when I'm passionate about something. You're going to see and you're going to hear the excitement in my voice. And that's me. That's who I am. Now, a lot of you, although I want to be a role model, that's not going to be your style. So what I need to do is get you to take what I'm teaching, but do it your way. If you try and do it like me or anybody else, it's not going to work. You've got to do it like you. You've got to bring your own uniqueness and your own personality. And I guarantee you, if you bring your own personality, you're going to resonate, you're going to look good, you're going to sound good. Yeah, if you've got a naturally monotone sounding voice, you might need to do a little bit of work on bringing it to life, but still work with your personality. And you will attract the people to you who are meant to be with you. Okie dokie. Carol saying she used to have the polished studio and me look, but now when she gets onto video or live stream, she's got no studio, no makeup or jacket. It's just her in natural surroundings, being herself. Exactly, and people warm so much more to it. In the old days, it was always taught, you know, have the jacket, have the powder. That's so dated. It's almost like, you know, 80s. Do you remember like Dallas and Dynasty, or Dynasty as they say it over in the States? It's dated. It's old hat. You know, we're being now that we're in the 2000s, and we're not in the 2000s. We're in the 2010s now. It's much more about the whole ecological, natural, personable way of doing things. Thank God. You know, I hated the whole power dressing thing. Hello Claire, how are you? How are you doing? Claire's got an amazing group as well. So go and check Claire's group out. It's WOBS online, Women on the Business Stage. Trace is saying this is her last night. Yeah, excitable. But there's nothing that draws people in like being excitable. It's infectious. You know, if your enthusiasm is so infectious. If you can't be excited about and passionate about what you're doing, then you can't expect other people to be excited and passionate about what you're doing as well. But you may not, but you may, like for me, I need to kind of calm it down, because sometimes I could get so excited I start jumping up and down, and that's not actually a good look on camera. I can get away with it when I'm on stage or when I'm in the room, but on camera, if I start, you know, jumping up and down and doing all this, you get a bit of seasickness. And this is the other thing that you need to do, is you need to remember you've got this kind of visual window. So if you're doing great big arm gestures like you might do if you're on stage, people ain't going to see that. So you need to keep your hand gestures in the window and in the frame of the camera as well. Michelle saying she's naturally laid back and needs to work on injecting a bit of excitement in now and again. Absolutely, you know, remain laid back. People are going to connect with you, but just bring in the enthusiasm when you need to. You know, it hasn't got to be all the way through. It's like, you know, you've got to work with your personality, but then add the spice. It's a bit like you're the cake, and the other stuff is just about putting the icing on the cake now and again. You know, but the cake is your personality. The icing, and you know, so some people might want flowers on the top of their cake. Some people might want, you know, little Jello sweets on the top of your cake. Some people might want cars on the top of the cake, you know. I want chocolate on the top of my cake. So that's kind of the bit that you work on. It's the extra, it's the toppings, it's the extra flavour that brings the cake to life. Okay, but you can't change the cake. If you try and change the cake, it ain't going to work. Yes, James saying works better in the car, Bob. Oh, now I need to share this little bit of, this is so funny. Jane is recalling a story that I told. Yeah. Oh God, this must be about 15 years ago now. I remember when I can't remember. I was watching some motivational thing, and I can't remember, this motivational thing said, you know, when you get in a bit of a funk, when your energy dips and you want to bring your energy up, do something silly. And I was going through a really hard time at the time. It was about 15 years ago, and I was going through a bit of a shit time. And I remembered watching this motivational thing, and I was in the car driving from A to B, and I was stressed out. My energy levels were down. I was feeling like shit. And I remembered the thing about be playful, be silly. It'll make you feel good. So I'm sat in this traffic queue, and I've got my hands on the wheel, and I went, and I started bobbing. Oh, bob. But I can't remember where. I think I was just bobbing up and down, and I was going bob. And I started to feel better, and I started to giggle. So I started doing it more. And then I started to realise that I could see in my windshield mirror, the person behind me was sniggering, and they obviously thought, what the flipping heck is she doing? And it made me giggle, because, and then I thought, God, what must I look like to anybody else? And I thought, I don't care, I'm going to do it even more, Bob. And I'm not kidding, it changed my mood completely. So if you're anxious about doing these Facebook Lives, do something silly, do something playful beforehand to raise that energy and get you in a really good state. It works, it's brilliant. All right, any more questions or comments? I've pretty much said what I wanted to say, so I'm just going to do a recap for people who may have missed at the beginning. Your number one key weapon for looking and sounding good is your smile. And I say sounding good because actually you can hear the smile in the voice. I remember when I was doing all my sales calls over the phone, we were told, stand up and smile. They can't see it, but they can hear it. And I know there's a load of people who's got a sales background, and they know this to be true. So even when you, well, it's like if you kind of close your eyes for a minute, and if I say it's really important for you to look and sound good, you don't hear the smile in my voice. But as soon as I smile and I say it's really important for you to look and sound good, can you hear the smile in the voice? And I mean, Ben demoed this the other day, and it's true. So you've got to smile as well, because people can hear, you know, they can obviously see it when you're on camera, but they can hear it as well. And it's that combination of looking and sounding good that's going to make you a magnet to people. So smile, look at the camera, so look down the lens so that you're connecting with people, but don't stare them out. Don't freak them out, you know. it can be a bit creepy. Don't creep them out. Be playful, have fun with it, be yourself, do whatever it takes to make you feel good, whether that's hair, makeup, clothes, you know, if that's right for you. For me, it's jewelry and perfume. Doesn't matter that you can't smell it, I can, and that makes me feel good, and that comes across in how I present myself. It could be that you're wearing your lucky pants, you know. I hope nobody's going to see your lucky pants, but it's going to make you feel good. And then good equipment, make sure you're in front of the window, take advantage of natural lighting, etc. That is the quick synopsis. Any questions? We've still got a heap of people on. I think we had our maximum 14 or 15 people on, which is awesome for a live on at any one point, which is really cool. We've still got 9 of you on, so if you've got any questions, if you've got any comments, any tips or snippets you want to share, thank you for the love. It's brilliant. You all give me loads and loads of love without me even having to ask for it now. I'm going to kind of come through and give you a load of love and hearts and stuff back. If you've got any questions, who invited that motorbike to the party? Not me. Then please do comment. What can you do if you forget to say something? If you forget to say something, doesn't matter. Say it next time. Because guess what? Your audience don't know you were planning on saying it anyway. All right? If you have notes for a start. You don't have to do everything without notes, you know. And just glance down and go, oh yeah, that's next. That's absolutely fine. So don't think you've got to do the whole thing out the top of your head. Have a structure. Have a structure that you can work with. And if you forget, you don't need to go and pretend. Just say, oh, hang on a minute, I forgot what I was going to say. Hang on. Oh yeah, equipment. That's what I was going to say. Do what you would do when you're talking in conversation to somebody. You know, when you have a conversation with somebody, oftentimes you're rabbiting away to them, and then you go, I was going to say something really important then, and it's just gone straight out of my head. Bear with me, and it'll come back to me in a tick. You know, that's absolutely fine. You know, remember, your Facebook Lives are much more personable than, say, a presentation, which is a little bit more formal. So you've got these hybrids now, which are kind of in between a Facebook Live and a webinar. So, but it makes sense to have a structure. Which is best, standing or sitting? Whichever's going to work best for you, Anthea. If standing up is going to make you feel better, I mean, obviously you've got to have this set up. I actually prefer sitting down because I'm a bit lazy, and if I'm standing up, I want to be on stage and I want to start wandering, and I want to start, you know, using my stage space, and I can't do that as well on camera, so I prefer to be seated. But it's entirely up to you. It's entirely what's going to make you feel better. You've just got to make sure, if you're standing up, if I stood up now, you'd probably, well, I'm going to do it anyway, what the hell. You're gonna just see my belly, you're gonna see my tummy, and I'm gonna need to maybe change my camera, and now you're gonna see what I'm talking about. You just see the Miss Piggy view. You see me in the ceiling. So for me, the standing up thing doesn't work so well. So I prefer to be seated. Oh, another thing, talking about it as well, I was going to mention is your background. Okay, you haven't got to have the big studio background, but just make sure it's neat and tidy. You know, I like to have flowers in the background. I love fresh flowers. I got fresh flowers in my foreground. I've got fresh flowers in my background. You know, if you've got crisp packets and coffee cups and plates and stuff, you know, all over the place behind you, it's going to look a bit of a mess. So make sure you've got that sorted out. Alrighty, other questions? Yes, what's exactly you to the point, Trace? That's why voiceover folks usually repeat a sentence or phrase 3 times, and then in post-production they take the best sound of the 3. Great tip, Roger. Absolutely. And one of your best things for doing video is investing in some really good video editing, because if I'm doing a video, a lot of the time you think you've got to do it in one take. You haven't got to do it in one take at all. And each point, I mean, the number of times I might think, no, that didn't sound quite right. So I just pause. And here's a secret tip. Make a big pause so that when you're doing the editing, you can find it easily, and then just restart what you're saying. And you might want to say it a couple of different times. And as Roger says, edit out the ones which didn't work and keep in the one that did, you know, keep in the best one. Cool. Monica's saying thank you for the refresher. You're very welcome. Absolutely very welcome. All right, well, people are starting to drop off now, so I'll be going 45 minutes, so it's probably time for me to start wrapping it up anyway. Tracy's saying just starting and got to paint her new desk, and then you'll be ready to stage the scene. Absolutely, you know. Just do what you can to make your background and your setting good, and you'll be fine. And what I want to do is encourage you to get out there, do the lives, do your videos, and get your message out to the world at how awesome you are. If there's any more comments, any more questions, I'll answer them. If not, I'm gonna knock it on the head there. Otherwise, I can carry on all day. I can talk for England when I want to. Again, I appreciate so much you all coming on, and especially for giving me lots of love and hearts, and especially unasked for, because Facebook loves the hearts and the likes and all that kind of stuff. Anthea saying, what if I pause? What do you mean, Anthea? What if I pause? I don't understand the question. You want to pause? If you've said something and you want your audience to think about it, you do need to pause. Also, pauses are great. You can go, no, that's a bit staged, okay. But what you can do is you can say something. You can say something like, okay, it's not about the hair and makeup. It's all about the smile. Pause and smile at them, and in the background it looks like you're pausing for effect and to make sure that they take in what you've said, because you've got to give them a chance to take in what you've said anyway. But all the time you're thinking, shit, what was I going to say next? So you just pause to cover up the fact that you've got a bit of a blank. Yeah, exactly, while thinking. That's no problem. Pause while thinking. And like I just said earlier, I don't know if you were here when I said that, Anthea, but you know, you would pause when talking to somebody and you go, hang on a minute, I forgot what I was going to say. I remember. Okay, so, because remember, Facebook Live is more of a conversation. All right? The more you do it, the less you're going to forget what you've got to say. The more you do it, the better practice you're going to become. The more you do it, the more it's going to flow. And if at the end of it you think, oh crap, I forgot to say something, it doesn't matter. The audience is never going to know, because they don't know what's on your sheet. They don't know what you were going to say in the first place. So they won't know that you've forgotten to say it. How cool is that? What am I talking about in the next one? Yes, the next one is tools. So the next one is tomorrow, and we are going to be talking about tools. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to demonstrate them all, but I'm going to talk you through some of the tools that you can use for certain different ways of bringing your Facebook Live to life. I'm going to start using these tools more often in the future. And if anybody's interested, I'll do a couple of little video tutorials on them. Okay. How do I manage answering questions? Do you just answer live, or do you go back later and reply in comments? A bit of both, Trace. Sometimes if I see it in the stream, I will answer it live. If I've missed it for some reason because I'm talking and it's gone, you know, the comments gone, and you know, if there's a lot of comments, you don't always see them all, so then I will go back. Sometimes it's important because All right, we've been live now for almost 50 minutes. And the other thing that you need to be comfortable with is not everybody is going to watch you live from start to finish. They might dip in and dip out. They might come on for the first bit and then drop out. They may come on late and join afterwards. Like Liz just joined, for example, and that's all to do with the Facebook algorithm. Facebook algorithm doesn't send it out to everybody all at the same time. It staggers it, it pushes it out to more people the more you've been on. So, you know, if there's something that I feel is important, even though I've said it live, I might go back and also type it in the comments afterwards as well. And you should always do that anyway for engagement. It's a bit distracting if you keep stopping to like and love everybody's comments while we're on live. But I always make a point of going back afterwards and liking and loving everybody's comments and answering them as well. So the answer to that question is a bit of both. Alrighty, any more final questions? Because we are pretty much gone quite long on this one. I thought we probably would, because I had loads I wanted to say and share with you. But I hate going off when somebody's just coming on. So Liz, if you want to catch all the nuggets, go back and watch the recording from the beginning. Trace is saying, I had a few nosy parkers in my family on mine and they didn't comment, but at least they know what I'm doing. Absolutely, you've got to start somewhere. And I commend every single one of you who's coming out of the comfort zone and making a start on doing it. Believe me, even with all my speaking experience, I was out my comfort zone the first time I started doing Facebook Lives. Now I'm loving them. I'm absolutely loving them. It's like a party. Sharon's another one of my buddies from the States. Hello there, Sharon. Sharon from sunny Florida. We're just wrapping up, Sharon. You've missed it. You'll have to go back and watch the recording. No, there's a thing you can do as well, and I can't remember what it is, but you can go on my profile and you can click somewhere. I'll have to do a little video tutorial. I've only just learned it in my mentoring session that Jacqueline had with me just now, the wonderful Jacqueline Sock. You can actually go to somebody's profile picture and you can do something where you can select to be notified when this person goes live. So if you don't want to miss any of the lives, then you can do that in the settings. And the other thing is, if you're not a member of my 5-star speakers group, go and join the group. I'll put the link in the comments, because most of my lives will be happening in that group rather than on the personal profile. I did this one on my personal profile because I thought it was something that would be of interest to a lot more people than just the ones who are in my group. But most of the time it's going to be over in the group. So there you go. Right, fantastic. That's it then, guys and girls. I'm going to stop it right there. If there are any more questions, do keep putting them in the comments anyway, and I'll come and answer them after we've wrapped up. Ask questions in the 5-star speaker group as well, and I will also answer them there too. So that's it for now. I'm going to say cheerio. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for giving me loads of love and hearts. I appreciate every single one of you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So lots of love, lots of hugs, and I'll see you on the next live, which is tomorrow. Let me just tell you when it is. Tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I'm really, really busy tomorrow afternoon, so it's going to be 8 o'clock Spanish time, so that's 7 o'clock UK time, 2 o'clock New York time, 1 o'clock in the morning Thailand time, and it's going to, yeah, anyway, you can probably work it out from there if you're on a different time zone. So, right, yeah, that's it. Another squirt of Chanel and I can keep going. That's what I do use to make me feel good, for anybody who missed that bit. All right, so I'll see you guys tomorrow, and let me know what topics you would also like me to do future Facebook Lives on as well, and I'll put that on my content list. So cheerio, love, hugs, see you soon, bye.